John Cena has done it all in WWE. 16 World Championships, multiple Royal Rumble victories, and headlining WrestleManias are just some of his accolades. Although we have seen Cena in some marquee matches at the grandest stage of sports entertainment, there are several interesting matchups featuring the leader of the C Nation that didn't go ahead as planned. I'm Jeremy, and here are 5 WrestleMania plans for John Cena that were eventually canceled. Number 5. John Cena vs. Lars Sullivan. At WrestleMania 35, John Cena didn't compete, but was involved in a segment with Elias. To the surprise of the fans in attendance and the millions watching at home, Cena came out donning the Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick that he had made popular during the height of the Ruthless Aggression era. Interestingly, WWE had planned a match for John Cena at WrestleMania 35 against Lars Sullivan. In early 2019, Sullivan was supposed to make his debut and target Cena on WWE television, kicking off their feud on the road to WrestleMania. Lars ended up having to leave due to an anxiety attack, thus forcing WWE to cancel the plans. At WrestleMania 35, John Cena not only insulted Elias using his rap skills, but also put him down to a huge pop from the WWE Universe. As for Lars, his career never picked up, minus a few short-lived dominant runs, and he was released early in 2021. Number 4. John Cena vs. Elias. John Cena had one of the most unique matches of his career at WrestleMania 36 against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. The Firefly Funhouse match featured a never-seen-before presentation, and the cinematic aspect of the bout gave WWE lots of room to experiment and do something unusual. However, the fans may not know that WWE had other plans for John Cena at the grandest stage of them all in 2020. Elias later revealed that he was set to face the 16-time world champion at WrestleMania 36 in a 3-year running story. If you remember, at WrestleMania 34, right before his match with The Undertaker, John Cena attacked Elias. The same story was repeated a year later at WrestleMania 35, where Cena put Elias down after insulting him with a rap performance. Instead of going ahead with the original plan, WWE pitted Cena and Wyatt at WrestleMania 36, where The Fiend got the better of the veteran superstar. Number 3. John Cena vs. Hulk Hogan. John Cena was involved in a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 25. Cena has always been synonymous with the WWE Championship, and seeing him compete for the World Heavyweight title at the grandest stage of them all was something different. Originally, WWE had big plans for Cena at that event, and he was set to compete in a dream match for the ages against the immortal Hulk Hogan. The WWE Hall of Famer later revealed that he was supposed to battle Cena at the Show of Shows in 2009, but his back injuries prevented him from competing. Hogan added that not getting to wrestle the 16-time world champion was very much disappointing to him. Due to WWE's plans getting canceled close to WrestleMania, things had to be rushed, and John Cena was put in the title picture in a hurry. In the end, he pinned Big Show to become the brand new World Heavyweight Champion. Number 2. John Cena vs. The Undertaker. At WrestleMania 32, John Cena didn't compete, and it was the first time since 2003 that he hadn't wrestled a match at the Show of Shows. Cena still showed up, though, to help The Rock fend off the Wyatt family. Later that year, Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer discussed WWE's plans for a Brock Lesnar vs. Shane McMahon match that never happened, and revealed that WWE had planned to have John Cena wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania 32. According to Alvarez, when WWE realized that Cena wouldn't be cleared to wrestle at the event, they decided to go ahead with the Hell in a Cell match between Shane McMahon and The Undertaker. 2 years later, John Cena finally got to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but he was squashed in a match that didn't even last 5 minutes. Number 1. John Cena vs. The Rock vs. CM Punk. At WrestleMania 28, John Cena lost to The Rock in a once-in-a-lifetime match, which the WWE had been promoting for a year. At WrestleMania 29, WWE gave the fans yet another John Cena vs. The Rock outing, this time for the WWE Championship. WWE originally had different plans for the main event of the show, and it was going to be a triple threat match between The Rock, John Cena, and CM Punk. According to The Rock, WWE had initially planned for him to win the WWE title at Elimination Chamber instead of the Royal Rumble. Cena would have still won the match, but the triple threat main event could have certainly garnered more fan interest than actually what went down. The WWE Universe had already seen The Rock vs. John Cena, and many of them weren't happy to witness the same WrestleMania main event twice in a row. On the other hand, CM Punk ended up losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29, which would be the Phenom's final win before before the end of the streak. And that is our list for today. Which of these John Cena matches do you wish would have happened at the time? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, SK Wrestling, as well as our Facebook page, facebook.com/SK Wrestling. That way you know when the latest news and content comes your way. Thank you for tuning in.